Welcome to Life It with DVD. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about right now because I have done this video probably 15 times and yeah, yeah. I am struggling. I'm struggling to articulate what it is I want to articulate. I'm not happy with my ideas. I'm trying my best to let it go and just be like, hey, nobody cares. The problem is I care. And I want to do things better. I want to structure these videos and my ideas better. But then it also feels like I'm not getting everything as structured as I want and doing it in a way that can appeal to other people. So right now, I think I'm just doing video on my struggles with making video. For what it's worth, maybe somebody will enjoy this. Somebody will appreciate the struggle that goes into trying to be consistent, especially after you haven't seen results and, really just trying to push through it because, you know, I started doing these videos because I wanted to share my unique perspective with the world and with the hope that people would be able to take something from these videos and that whether it's an idea or perspective that is maybe a little bit different way to look at the world, and that might work for people. Some different ideas of not just ideas, but also things in the world of what works for me and sharing it with you. Uh, I've been really happy about doing these. However, there's just this pressure that I keep putting on myself to make them better. And I don't know if I don't think it's justified. Because ultimately, I think this is just part of the creative process. I think there are going to be days that you have no idea what you want to say, or you just, like me, are having a really hard time structuring the idea to like feel like it's going to appeal to people. Um, and yeah, there's just this I mean, I guess this is the creative process, but it just feels like there's this weight on me to make these videos, to do it in a specific way, and because I'm struggling with that and I'm not getting a video up every day, it's the pressure increases, right? Because I have this deep need to want to be consistent and structured. But at the same time, I need variety. I need to do things that are going to work for me, not just hopefully work for you. And I think that's just the way it's got to be for me. Is I need to do things differently sometimes. So as much as some of these videos are going to be very structured, very, on topic in the way that, I'm talking about things where there's a very clear thing, why it's important, why it matters to me, why it should matter to you, the benefits, the detriments to it. I also think that sometimes I just need to talk and be more free-flowing about this process, this creative process. So I'm not even going to go into my video that I wanted to do today. I'm literally just going to talk about the struggle right now. And I'm sure you can see that this is a struggle, that this is the creative process at work, that it's not easy. And not everything is what you see on Instagram or the final product of things. I think so many people never start doing the things that they want to do because they are like, how how am I ever going to get there? How will I get to the end point that you want to get to? And maybe you don't even know what that end point is. That's kind of where I'm at as well. I just want to share my experience, and it's like I don't really want to make this a vlog, but at the same time, it might be the best way. I'm not entirely sure, but this hasn't been an easy process. But what helps for me is to stay consistent. And that's why I'm filming this, and this is why I'm going to post it, even though this might be my worst video that I can think of, because I just don't even know what I'm saying right now. Literally just communicating how I feel about this process, my own struggles with trying to find good ideas each day. A few weeks ago, I'm like, I have good ideas every single day, and it was awesome. I'm writing them down. I'm creating outlines for them of oh, I can talk about this, I can talk about that. I'm like, this, oh, great, amazing. And now a few weeks later, I'm looking at these ideas, and I'm like, this doesn't really feel like the direction I want to go. So what do? What direction am I going? And I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure. And that feels like it's not very smart. But at the same time, it's what feels right. And that's kind of where it's at right now. I think part of this is that I think differently. I am an INFJ in Myers-Briggs personality typing. I have my own unique human design. I'm not trying to say I'm some special thing or whatever, but I'm an individual, and I have experiences. I've had things I've gone through that have led me right here, right now, why I'm doing what I'm doing, wanting to help other people along their own process. And you might say, oh, well, you don't even know yourself. But the thing is, sometimes we don't know ourselves because we know other people really well. We don't have much of an identity because we can see others' identities. And that is really one of the things I'm good at, is putting myself in other people's shoes and seeing what energizes them, what they're good at, their strengths, also their weaknesses, though, and where they're going. As an intuitive person, I'm able to connect these dots that most people never connect. They never see. And it's not that this is some sort of superpower or whatever. It's just how my brain works. And there's other people that think like this as well. But I know that this won't even connect with the people that, would, if they were watching right now, they'd be like, what the heck is this person talking about? But this might connect with you if you're still watching. Intuitives think differently. They have a web of knowledge. I've talked about this quite a few times. We connect things that other people don't see as having connections. And there's a lot of associations within this web of knowledge and data points that, get connected sometimes, and sometimes they don't get connected. That's why putting structure around trying to do these videos has been so difficult, because as soon as I put the structure in, other things pop up where it's like, oh, this would be good to say, and this, and this, and this. And my mind jumps around, and it doesn't have a linear process of how it works. So trying to just free-form flow right now is much easier for me to articulate where I'm coming from, even though it might not be easy for other people to understand. The vast majority of people to understand. So I think this is like the big reason why these videos have been so much of a struggle recently, and you know, I felt a lot of pressure to be consistent with them, but at the same time, I just don't think that I'm gonna be able to be consistent. Uh, doing completely structured videos all of the time. I mean, it's very easy to just read a script, but I mean, is that what you want to see? Because I say that because I think, like I had said earlier, maybe I said it in a different video that I then trashed. We see a lot of people that have their final products, online on Instagram and Facebook, and you're left looking, wow, look at this person's life, like, oh, it's so amazing, and it's like, do you really want to see that, or do you want to be real about it? Do you want to actually see how you're doing it, right? Like how you can do it, the struggle, if that makes sense, the struggle behind it, because that gives you a realistic expectation of like, hey, like this is what it's like for this person. Doesn't mean it would be like that for you, but you get more perspective into how how it is, what that experience might be like, because we all gain from experience. We all learn things from our experiences. And one person's experience with one thing is going to be completely different from another person's experience with something. That same thing, based on the plethora of experiences that they've had in the past, the emotional attachment they have to certain things, the psychological things that they have going on mentally. It can be an energetic thing, whether they have low energy that day. It can be whether they're distracted. It can be physical things. There's all sorts of reasons that we can struggle with our process and with everything in our lives. But what's most important is that we shed light on it, that we become aware of it, that this is a thing for us, and hopefully in the shedding of light on that issue, or just quirk that you might have, or just the struggle that you might have around a certain thing, it will begin to help you feel lighter about that thing. When you shed light and consciousness on certain issues, it then becomes easier to work through because you know it's a thing. And I don't know if that's helpful for anybody, but I think this is just part of the creative process. And this is what I'm going through. And instead of doing my 16th take on, um, on a video, I think I'm just going to post this video about my struggles with video, and maybe you'll learn from it. Maybe you'll be able to take something from my experience with this and say, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense, right? It's not easy. We're not always going to have our good days, but ultimately our energy will fluctuate. And I just hope that tomorrow I'm going to be able to approach this in a much more streamlined fashion, be able to communicate the things that I want to in, I guess, a structured but also flowing way, finding a good balance between things, and that I'll be able to do it efficiently and effectively, because I can see how these things can work in my head, and I can visualize it, but often the execution falls short of what my expectation was. And I know this can be like a perfectionistic thing for INFJs. However, I think it is just part of the process that we need to work through. And it might not ever be conquered or overcome, but knowing that it's part of us, and I think maybe even sharing that it is part of us, right? will just help some others on your own path as well. So ultimately, I'm here because I'd like to help you. Uh, if you like this video, please like or subscribe. I would deeply appreciate that. I want to try to help people get to where they want to be. I know other people well. I can understand where they're going, what they're going through, and it doesn't matter where you're going. If you are able to follow your energy to that end, and you need some support or help um, going through your own experience around something, I'd love to help. I think I'll put my Calendly thing in the comment section. Yeah, let me know if you want to have a quick call or consultation or whatever, just to talk about stuff. And, we can take it from there. Uh, but yeah, I mean, life is not easy. I mean, we can say that it's easy, and many things are easy, but sometimes the creative process is not easy, right? It's going to change. Once again, based on our experience, based on our energy, and as INFJs, we all know that we don't have very consistent energy towards things, and it's going to change. We're going to have limited energy sometimes, and it's just the way it is. But I hope this helps. Once again, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. If not, dislike. Fine, that's okay too. If you don't like the structure, let me know. Let me know what you want to see. But otherwise, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.